Namaskar, everybody. I'm Dr. Vishal Saxena. As you know, I've been hosting many podcast chat shows, heart to heart chat shows for Zena family, and I'm a part of Zena family. So today, our chat show, Heart to Heart, brings us something very different. You would have, like in a previous chat shows of mine, we have authors, we have many people in different walks of life. But today, we have a lady who is very good in authorship and she's going to help you a lot. But before I start, let me tell you the name of our chat, what we are going to do today. It is authorship and awareness. अब आप सोच रहे होंगे कि what is authorship and awareness? That you will come to know as you gradually listen to this particular podcast of ours, where authorship and awareness blend together. This is just a place where stories are not just written, but lived consciously. I'm sure you will agree to it because authorship, when you write something, it has to be from your heart. Although it starts from your mind, but gradually it connects with your heart and the ink starts to flow accordingly. The words, what you write, the way you connect, things work that way. So today, we would like you all, I would like every one of you all to sit glued to the screen, put your headphones on, because today we have a very elegant lady as a guest who is the co-founder of Penmessy. Penmessy is a place which she is going to explain herself, but it is there for aspiring writers who wants to write. देखिए गजलें किस्से कहानियां शायरियां बहुत लिखते हैं लोग बाग, but yes, when it comes to content writing of your book, you have to have somebody who can mentor you very nicely. And today our guest is going to mentor you very nicely and handhold you also. Plus, she is herself a fiction author, published fiction author. So she has walked the way which she wants to take you along with you. So it is not that she's just going to give you and sit with you and give her certain things to be done. She herself has written and she knows what goes and what has to happen in a author's mind. So that is why it is author and awareness. So put your hand together, sit calmly, headphones on, eyes on the screen glued, and welcome along with me, Miss Kajal Kapoor. Kajal, madam, welcome to the show. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure that you accepted our invitation from your busy schedule and you are here with us today. Kajal,
Thank you.
madam,
Thank you
you are
so much,
welcome, madam.
Vishalji, for allowing me to be a part of this conversation. And I want to say hello to all the people who are listening to us, Zena
Yes, ma'am.
family. And
Hmm.
I hope this conversation is of use to each one of you who is listening.
Yes, ma'am, because this conversation, what we are going to have, it is not basically for Zena family. It is there for Zena family, but it will
Everybody,
be
yes,
there. Everybody who is going to listen will be
absolutely.
surely gaining knowledge. So I would appreciate if you could give something about yourself to the people before we start the flow of question and answers and how we connect with each other.
Okay, sure. Like Vishalji said, my name is Kajal and I am the co-founder of Penmancy. It's basically a writing platform and a huge community of writers. We basically get together to write with each other and understand how we can do better every day. There are so many forms in which you can go ahead and write. Some people like to write in a particular genre, some people like to write and explore different genres. They want to write non-fiction, or some people are only writing fiction or poetry. So whoever is walking that line, we try and help them understand their own craft and help them walk through that
Mhm.
mile. And this is basically what Penmancy has been doing for the last over 7 years now. And as a part of our guidance, we conduct a lot of writing exercises, practice sessions, writing sprints, workshops, contests, and we also go ahead and collaborate with various publishers so that whoever wants to get themselves published can find publishing. So that is mostly the gist. Of course, there is a lot of backdrop activities that keep happening so that people who want to go ahead and continue writing and take it up seriously find
Mhm.
help and assistance at every step.
Oh, so it's very nice to know that, madam, you are helping people. Because, see, we have seen people, we have seen schools that teach you singing. We have seen music schools. We have seen in like from the place Lucknow where people they do sher or shairi and then people is born and sing. But yes, somebody who wants to write, they do not get the right path, the right way, somebody holding their hand and showing things because of many other issues which we are going to cover today. So, madam,
Right.
before penmancy, let me ask you, Miss Kajal, as a young girl, how was the journey as a young girl which started from your school days or childhood days and how it gradually grew and today what you are, a co-founder of penmancy?
Right, right. Okay, a nostalgic trip. I don't consider myself a born writer, but of course, when I was in school, like everybody, like every second person who has some interest in literature or poetry would have, experienced that there is somebody like a teacher or a mentor in school who would have guided you at that point in time or encouraged you in some way. So I was also
Mhm.
fortunate enough that I had teachers who recognized that I have an inclination or the love for the word, and they
Okay.
encouraged me. My library teacher, she used to really find books and keep them aside for me so that I could pick them up and read. And there were English teachers who continued to, encourage me. And I started off with essays and all of those things. But because I was also poetry into poetry recitation, I
Mhm.
started writing poetry as well. And of course, short stories came next. But whatever a small little work that I did, my teachers really encouraged me in all of that. Of course, along the way, when you grow up, these become secondary because you were finding yourself, you're exploring other things. So that took a backseat for a very long time. But then gradually, when I grew up, I rediscovered my love for writing, and that is how Penmancy was also born.
That is one of the best thing. You kept your passion growing along with you. And again, you came back to the line of your passion. Ma'am,
Yes.
see, like the way you said you have written poems, you have written essays, but when did it come to your mind that these words can be published also? See, because what happens is like when I've seen many people, they are very good writer in school. They
Right.
write a lot of drama, plays and all, but they do not take it up as a career also.
Right.
Right. So when did you thought, okay, let me go into this and make it my profession and open something which can help? When did it
Right.
come?
Right. So, in the times when I was growing up, I think if I would have said at that point of time that I wanted to become a writer, I don't think I would have got the encouragement from anybody because it was not really a profession at that point of time that
Correct.
people would pursue, or even if people would take up literature in their college, they would still not really kind of venture into becoming a writer or taking it up as a full-time career. But
Mhm.
when I really thought about it, was really very later on in the life when I became a mom, and my daughter was little and I had some time on hand, that I really kind of rediscovered my love for words, and I started off with blogging first. So I started
Okay.
blogging about my daily life, my life with my new child, and so on and so forth. There was so much to talk about, there was so much to tell. But I found that there was, whatever I was writing, there was resonance. So people were reading my blogs and they were reacting to it, and I got some positive feedback from that. And that is how I kind of, got this idea that I should now learn and explore more. And that is how I moved from blogging to fiction writing. And that's how my love for fiction writing basically grew, when I saw that people really find value in my expression. So that's how I found love for fiction. And then, of course, one thing led to another. I wanted to learn more about fiction writings, the structure of a story, how we go about it, what are the other technicalities that need to be taken care of, all those things I wanted to learn and explore more. And in my journey, of course, then I came across a lot of writing platforms that I was a part of, where I got exposure to these kind of technicalities, and I learned all of that and I imbibed that. I read a couple of books about it, about the
Mhm.
art of writing. And then, of course, penmancy was born because of that need. So sorry, because I
No worries, no
felt the
worries.
need, that there are more like me who would want to learn and understand more about fiction writing.
Yes, ma'am. Because see, I'll tell you, like if somebody who's listening to the show from the beginning and within first 5 minutes, I'm sure every person who has a love for writing will surely go back to their memory lane and they will say, yes, when she can do it and she can become such a famous writer and she can do a co-founder of Penmancy and help people, I'm sure many people will think, because I've seen many people, like my school friends, known people who were very good writers. And we thought, okay, you are going to grow up and you will become a writer. And that is the reason some people, they take English honors also to
Right,
become a writer or something, but
right.
somewhere on the in the life they miss out that. But yes, as you said, being at home, your daughter was born and you were blogging, and that is something great. I'm sure people who are aspiring moms and who are in the other part of life, box of life, they will surely understand what you are trying to say. Okay, Athena, that some connection will immediately, the link will start connecting with you. It was such a nice journey, madam, that you started writing. So you started writing poems first, or in blogs? The blogs came later, but poems in school, or
Huh.
it was
So
just
blogs I wrote, and then I no, I did not write any poetry. I used to write poetry like micro poems, चार लाइनें इधर लिख दी, दो लाइनें इधर लिख दी, like micro poems, but not really
uh-huh.
poetry as such, because I fell in love with fiction writing. And
Okay.
that is something which I thought would give me room to express myself even more than what I could do through poetry. So I think weaving stories, telling different stories of different kinds of people I would observe, and so on and so forth, I wanted to write about their stories. So that is something that I was became very passionate about. So poetry kind of took a back seat, of course.
Okay. So basically, I will say the word was choosing you and you were choosing the word. They were both attracting each other.
Huh. Yeah, yeah,
Right?
I think so. Because that's what I said. When I started writing, I started off with blogging because, and I explored a lot of blogging, arenas. Like I appeared for a lot of blogging contests and won. I also took up assignments from, advertising assignments so that I could write their blogs and so on and so forth. So I had started getting paid work as well for my blogging. But gradually, when I started writing personal blogs, which were like my own expression, I found that that made me much happier than what I was doing
Content.
as an assignment. And that is how fiction was born. From those personal blogs, I started writing fictional stories, and that found resonance with the readers, and that is how my love for fiction came about.
Acha, ma'am, like, so then that, as you said, you started to write. And from your school days, you were writing, and as you gradually. So, what is that inside calling? It's a courage or something that you want brings you to start writing things? Like, what is that inside feeling? Okay, I should start writing now. It's a courage sort of a thing, or nay, some people. Because why I'm asking on behalf of everybody.
Huh.
Because some people who write, they suddenly
Yeah.
say, "Oh no, I will not be able to write a good content that I used to write in my school days, long time back, never thought." And when they pick up the pen, they start feeling bit of a fear is always there among themselves. So tell me something like how this is a courage to start writing all over again, or how it is.
I think it started off as a medium of self-expression initially. I wanted to, kind of express myself, and I wanted to write about whatever I was experiencing in my life at that point of time. So I wanted to write about that. I really did not feel that I had any kind of fear. There was nothing to hide from me. I did not really kind of think that what I'm becoming too vulnerable for people to, So I was just writing what my heart desired. So it was initially, it started off as a medium of expression. But when I started exploring fiction and I started writing fiction, initially I did see that my thought process was quite vague. There was not too much structure in my stories, and that's when I really had to, kind of muster up my courage and say, all right, I'm going to learn more, I'm going to explore more, I want to know. If you want to do something, you have to want to do something about it so that you can be successful in what you're doing, right? So action is required to fulfill the desire that you have. So I think that of course I had to really kind of pull myself out and say, okay, I need to be courageous now enough to go ahead and explore more about this and learn more about it, and then of course work on it.
See, madam, see, as what you said, like you took the courage to understand. First of all, basically, you understood yourself,
Yes.
and your acceptance was the first thing which you did.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
That's why I think so. You are a happiness coach also,
Yes.
where you're aligning yourself with because today's happiness is something which is missing also. So,
Right.
like, you have to align yourself totally and completely within yourself. Okay, this is what it is. And because today world, if you see, there are many people who write on Facebook, who write on any other places, they write their articles and blogs, but they basically think, oh, how many claps I have received, how many likes I have received. Were you also looking into those things, or you are not looking into those things, but you are just writing it out? Let me put my heart out to the people.
So initially, I think everybody starts with that. I need to, I need the acknowledgement. I need a nod from my readers. You want to, when you're actually putting your work out, you are actually putting a piece of your mind out,
Correct.
exposing your thoughts to others. And if they are well received and people really accept your thoughts, and then you
Mm,
feel more encouraged. And that is
mm,
how a human mind really works. You need
mm,
stimulation for your mind, right? And that applause or the acknowledgement really stimulates your mind, and then you want to do better the next time.
mm,
So of course, initially, of course, this was one of the criteria that, I'll write better every time so that I get more applause. But gradually I realized that that should not become a way of your life. Your expression should not become something that you're doing for the expectation of the others, because then you're not writing what you want to write, then you're writing what the others want you to write, right? So
correct.
it should not reach there, it should not reach that level when your expression no more remains your expression, becomes somebody else's expression. That should not be
Mm.
the way. You should continue writing what you want to write. And of course, if you continue to write your best and pour yourself out in the most honest way, then you will find readers. You will find readers who will acknowledge and appreciate your work as well.
That for sure. That is for sure. Yes. So, madam, like now, this you are a happiness coach also and a corporate trainer also. So when you like when you for as yes, I can understand as a corporate trainer, you have a lot of things to say to the corporate, and you can easily work with their sensories and everything because stories say you can easily and make them understand other things. So what made you become a happiness coach also? Because happiness is something, and what why did you choose this particular title as a happiness coach?
Huh. That's a very interesting question.
Hmm.
Um, I have been working in the corporate area for corporate scene for a very long time. I've worked for over 23 years in the corporate world,
Okay.
handling very many portfolios from operations to customer service to all sorts of things. So,
Hmm.
as a part of, I've also trained people as a part of my job in my corporate life. But
Hmm.
once it was at some junction in my life, I think so many people really kind of made a shift or something clicked in their mind at the time when COVID struck us. And at that
Correct.
point in time, even I really kind of started exploring and understanding what is it that I want to go ahead and want from my life. What is it that I want from my being? What is my purpose? Now, purpose हम लोग सब बोलते हैं कि what is my purpose, what is my purpose, but इनिशियली हमें नहीं मालूम होता है हमारा क्या पर्पस है, हमें लगता है कि हम जिस तरीके से लाइफ लीड कर रहे हैं वही हमारा पर्पस है।
Hmm.
इवेंचुअली हम लोग उससे भी डिससेटिस्फाइड हो जाते हैं, तो इसका मतलब है फिर वो हमारा पर्पस नहीं है। So
Correct.
that is where, that is the juncture when I found myself in that, at that point, at that place where I questioned myself, if this is what my purpose of life was and I'm not satisfied with it now, then I need to find something that makes me happy. So, what makes me
Correct.
happy was the first question I asked. And I
Okay.
wanted to find the answer to that. What makes me happy? There are
Hmm.
so many things I can extract joy from. I can extract joy from listening to music or watching a movie, playing with my child, cooking, or going out for a movie with my husband. I can find joy in so many things, right? But is it all that we want? Is
Hmm.
that all that we want? What is it that I want from myself as an individual? What is my expectation of myself? Is this my full life that I'm leading? That was a question that I wanted to explore. Is this what I want to do with my life, the rest of my life? What do I want to do? Whether I want to continue with my job from 8 to 8 and then come back home and then do whatever needs to be done at home and then sleep off. Is this what my life going to entail for the rest of my
What our
breathing
journey is.
breathing time? So I did not want that. I wanted to really understand what is it that I want to do, what makes
Correct.
me happy. And that question led me to take up coaching, where I enrolled myself for a particular course, from one course to another, to the third, to a fourth. I went on exploring, learning, understanding various aspects of human mind and how we can go ahead and place ourselves in such a way that uh, unhappiness, even if it is in and around us, we can navigate through it. So
Correct.
that is how happiness coaching came into being for in
So,
my life.
so yes, so a writer who was born in the school days, a happiness coach which was born in the corporate world. So nice to understand certain details of life, depth of life. That yes. So now when you're writing, I'm 100% sure you will be connecting more to your heart and mind when you're writing it, any of the fiction stories of yours, because you would be writing it with full satisfaction, contented, and you would be writing it, correct?
Yes, writing, of course, is therapeutic for me, and it kind of
Yes.
gives vent to a lot of my thoughts and ideas. But penmancy also gives me a lot of joy when I
Oh,
see I'm able to help others, and I'm able to kind of make small little shifts in their life. How their
mhm.
writing kind of transforms over a period of time. When I see that, and they come back and thank me, that also gives me a lot of happiness. So I think
That is for sure.
yeah, so I feel that probably turns out that it is my purpose in life, is to help others so that they find joy in what they are also doing.
Because see, what I understand when a person wants to write, there are few fear in their mind. Apart from writing, when they write it, they have a fear ki how am I going to publish it? Who's going to do the proofreading? Because when you write, there are a lot of mistakes. And when we read our own writing, we don't find any mistakes. We
Yes.
understand, yes, whatever we have written is the best. Let it be
Yes.
punctuation marks and everything.
Yes.
So how do you guide them step by step?
So yes, we do go ahead and give a lot of feedback on. So the community basically was built for mutual feedback itself. When we
Okay.
started off, we didn't start off like we are going to get writers together. Where will we find the writers? We were
Hmm.
just a couple of people who got together and said, okay, we will write something and we'll give feedback to each other, and we'll
Correct.
see, how we can better ourselves. Obviously, when two minds or three minds get together and think about one thing, different kinds of ideas come into being, and that is how we learn and explore. That is how we grow. So that is the whole genesis of penmancy. When this community started, it started off like this, and even now, people who write, who submit their stories or poems, the community themselves, they go ahead and give a feedback to them, and they kind of help each other, kind of find what is it that they could have done better with this particular story. Of course, we also go ahead and guide them through various workshops. We do monthly sessions with them. We also give them personal feedbacks on their stories and poems on a monthly basis. And time to time, we go ahead and do a lot of writing sprints. So every month, we run a month long writing sprint where people log in for 60 minutes on a particular day, and then they write. They're not supposed to be doing anything, not checking their phone, not getting up for a glass of water, everything. They have to be like stuck to their seat for 60 minutes and
Focused.
just write and focused writing. So, and on Fridays we go ahead and kind of meet once a month, once a week, and then we ask each other if somebody has a doubt, if somebody is finding themselves stuck somewhere, the character is not showing up well, or the narration is not feeling well, or there are some plot loopholes that you want help with. So we talk about that, we discuss, and we go ahead and find a solution with each other. So there is a lot of community help that is happening from Penmancy. It is not just one or two people who are guides and they are doing all the work. No, it is the community which is building itself, and that is the beauty of Penmancy.
Acha, one more question. That's so nice of you that you're helping that way. One question arises in my mind. There are many blog writers nowadays.
Yes.
People who have written 100 blogs, 200 blogs. Can they compile all those blogs together? Because it will not be a flow. It will be all whatever they get. People. So, okay, so whatever is there, they write it in their blogs, how they feel in their heart. If
Right.
they want to compile the entire blogs,
Right.
let's say out of the 100 blogs, let's say, they say,
Right.
okay, I will be, and they give it to you for a publishing or to help them out to make it a proper
Huh.
guideline, how they go about. Do you guide them that way also? Because blogs are just one page
Right.
article sort of a thing. But yes, a
Right.
novel is a big thing, or they can make short stories, something of
Right.
that sort.
Right.
Do you guide them?
So, so with regards to blog compilation of blogs or essays, there is a very small market for that. There are publishers, there are dedicated publishers who do ask for, uh, you know, um, a compilation of essays or a compilation of thoughts that you have, like which you call blogs, but that would be very rare. And of course, there it basically depends on the publisher, what is the kind of market they are seeing for this kind of a compilation. Of course, we can guide them with their manuscript. If they go ahead and compile it, we can tell them, in like which blog will come first, second, how we can edit, line editing, or all sorts of things. We can help them with all of that. But eventually, when we go for us also to pitch it to a publisher, we want to know if the publisher is also willing to go ahead and bring such a work out. There is a whole lot of market for non-fiction as well. So if people who are basically writing about management, about taxation, about politics, about sports, or biographies and memoirs, there are different kinds of markets for with the publishers. But whoever is presenting the work, they should be absolutely clear how they want to go ahead and project their work.
Okay.
If it is just their random musings, then you will have to go ahead and structure your work also in such a way that it falls in some category which is acceptable to the publisher as well.
You're right. Because there they basically you just write what you want to write.
Yes.
Here, then they have to structure it very nicely. Very nicely
Right.
said, ma'am. Because see, this is where the mentorship comes. This is where your Penmancy is the company which will help
Right.
the writers to understand things.
Right.
That is
Right.
so nicely said. But like many people, they suppose that like if I have to see, many people are writing journals also. And I see
Right.
if you walk to a bookstore, you'll see people are writing book of affirmations, book
Right.
of manifestations.
Right.
And now these sort of books have also started coming into picture.
Right.
So you help those sort of people also who wants to have manifestation affirmation because see, nowadays law of attraction, law of reputation. Since you're a happiness coach, you will be knowing it better.
Right.
People are working on that,
Right.
right? And some people they say, okay, let me write a book because in the US and all, if you see any of the coaching or
Right.
people, they all write a book and they become a bestsellers. You pick any other
Right.
people, they all are bestsellers, and
Right.
that goes into a person mind also. I should be also writing a bestseller. So
Right.
what is
Right.
that like? What is going into these people's minds?
Yes, there is a whole lot of market out there for personal development, which they also call self help books. I don't like to call them self help books, they're mostly personal development books. But my personal opinion on these books is that um, people who are basically well qualified, like they have like a degree in psychology, or they have some amount of experience in the field, if they come out with such a book and are guiding, then it makes sense to me. But if a person who is just stepping into coaching right now and comes out with a book, and kind of based on what they have learned in their coaching,
Hmm.
lessons, in their own coaching lessons, they or their own personal mentoring experiences, if they are writing all of that and then bringing out, then I find that somehow the message can sometimes become very misguided also. Because there is a vast arena that you can play in when it comes to the human mind. The human mind is a very complex organ, and when we are trying to write about self help, what aspect that we are picking up is very, very essential. And if you have expertise in that, it is very good that you go ahead and write it and you become successful, you become a bestseller, good work. But I also personally feel that when you are bringing out such a book which you expect is going to help others, then a lot of responsibility needs to be there. The writer should hold a very conscious, responsible opinion about how they want to project their work also in the market.
Correct. Because see, this is what how it is presently. Because I have seen
Correct,
writers
correct.
10 affirmations and they write a small size
Right.
of book, comes in pocket
It should
size
not
and
be
it is written.
irresponsibly presented, irresponsibly
Hmm.
just thrown out just for the pleasure of having a bestseller book should not be the reason why you come out with a self-help or a personal development book. It should be for service. And if
Hmm.
that is your compass, then I'm sure it will do well.
Madam, can writing heal trauma also? Suppose a person has gone to a trauma of his life and he wants to pen it down and write it. Because there are a lot of people nowadays, you see books in this
Right.
there, which people have gone into traumas and they have written their experiences.
Huh.
Like I will not name the book, but they are
Huh.
coming
Huh.
from many part of the world,
Right.
people staying anywhere, and they write. So if they write their traumas in words, do they heal themselves? Let's say the book station will be second, but do they heal themselves? Okay, I'm writing my trauma. They're reliving the trauma again and they're putting it in
Huh,
word.
huh. It takes a
So
lot of
does it?
courage. I
Hmm,
think it takes a lot of courage for you to relive that trauma, write a book, and then come out with a book, and then, of course, answer questions of the people who will ask you about that book. So I think it takes
correct.
a lot of courage. But I am not 100% sure. I can't really 100% surely say that it heals trauma. Like, say, for example, I get hurt today on my hand, okay? And I neglect it. And I say, okay,
Hmm,
I heal very quickly. I'll just put an appointment and it'll be fine. After
hmm,
about a year or so, I suddenly find some ache in that same area where I was hurt a year back. I find some
correct.
ache. I do some muscular exercises. I pick some weight. I'm okay, right? Then after another year or two, the pain, I observe some pain in my elbow, right?
Hmm,
And I'm like, ये कैसे हो गया मुझे? This तो never should have happened. Then I recall,
hmm,
अच्छा कभी hurt हुआ था मुझे, तो maybe उसकी वजह से हुआ होगा. And then I go ahead and take some medication. And वो सब ठीक हो
correct.
जाता है. उसके बाद मेरा arm भी ठीक हो जाता है, मेरा hand भी ठीक है, सब कुछ है. In another few years, I find that my shoulder is suddenly locked.
Hmm,
अभी वो move ही नहीं कर रहा है. I can't move my
hmm,
shoulder, right?
correct.
That's when I
Correct.
say, oh ho, अब तो बड़ी मुश्किल हो गई. Let me just go to the doctor now. राइट.
Correct.
मैं डॉक्टर के पास जाऊंगी, उसको पूरा दिखाऊंगी, MRI, एक्सरे, वट एवर नीड्स टू बी डन, दैट विल बी
Hmm,
डन. आई विल बी गिवन मेडिकेशन, सम थेरेपी, सम फिजियोथेरेपी, वट एवर नीड्स टू बी डन, दैट विल हैपन,
hmm,
एंड देन आई विल क्योर. नाउ
hmm,
व्हाट हैपेंस इज, ये हो गया जब हम लोग स्टेप बाय स्टेप अपने ट्रॉमा को हम हील नहीं करते हैं इमीडिएटली, या उसको हम एड्रेस नहीं करते हैं इमीडिएटली, तो वो बाद में कभी ना कभी कहीं ना कहीं हमारी इमोशनल इमोशंस में हमारे वो कहीं ना कहीं उभर के आता है, राइट?
hmm, hmm,
तो राइटिंग का भी वैसा ही है. राइटिंग विल गो अहेड एंड स्टार्ट दैट जर्नी. ओके. वेर एन आई गो अहेड एंड मैं डॉक्टर के पास चली जाती हूँ, लेकिन जो डॉक्टर
हम्म,
ने मुझे बताया है करने के लिए अगर मैं वो नहीं कर रही हूँ, तो देन आई एम
हम्म,
नॉट गोइंग टू क्योर माई सेल्फ. So
correct.
writing can go ahead and start that journey of you understanding your words, understanding your thoughts from a third person point of view. Because when you're writing your words, you're actually looking at your
Mm-hmm.
words and rereading it from another person's point of view. आपके दिमाग से निकल गए ना वो, आप पेपर पे आ
Hmm.
गए, आप रीड कर रहे हो थर्ड पर्सन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, तो वो आप पढ़ रहे हो उसको. लेकिन अगर आप उस पर एक्शन नहीं कर रहे हो, उसके बाद आपने लिख तो लिया,
Hmm.
लेकिन अब उसको, अब मुझे करेक्ट कैसे करना है उसको अपनी लाइफ में, अगर हम वो
Hmm.
एक्शन नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो देन दैट ट्रॉमा विल नॉट बी हील्ड.
Hmm.
सो आई वोंट से राइटिंग से ट्रॉमा हील होता है. आई वुड से राइटिंग इज जस्ट द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट. The healing will
Hmm.
happen when you will accept and embrace those words and work on them. That is when the
Correct.
trauma will be healed.
Okay. So you should not be silent, basically. You should understand how things are happening and go
Absolutely.
slowly and gradually. ठीक है ना
Absolutely.
मैम? अच्छा मैडम, now one more thing. As we have said today is awareness also. So when you are shaping an author, what sort of a training do you impart? Aspiring
Okay.
authors
हाँ.
who are
So,
coming to you.
हाँ. Uh, so one solution does not fit everyone, because हम सब जो राइटर्स हैं ना, हम सब डिफरेंट है. जैसे ह्यूमंस जो हैं, सो आर्ट इज बेसिकली अ वेरी सब्जेक्टिव फॉर्म, एंड देयरफॉर राइटिंग इज आल्सो वेरी सब्जेक्टिव. आई विल राइट,
Correct.
से इफ यू एंड आई बोथ आर गिवन a topic to write on, say we want to write about a glass of water,
Hmm.
our words will be different, our expression will be different, our presentation will be different, everything will be different,
Correct.
because we are
Hmm.
different people. So therefore if somebody says मुझे ना कैरेक्टराइजेशन नहीं करना आता है, तो मैं समझना चाहूंगी पहले कि क्यों नहीं आता, मतलब क्या चीज़ वो डायरेक्टली पूछ रहे हैं मुझसे कैरेक्टर्स के बारे में. उनको कैरेक्टर का ड्राफ्ट नहीं करना आ रहा है, या कैरेक्टर्स का आपस में रिलेशन नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, या उनको कैरेक्टर को कैसे प्लेस करना है इन पर्टिकुलर सीन में वो नहीं आ रहा है. देन आई विल हैव टू रियली काइंड ऑफ अंडरस्टैंड वेयर दे आर कमिंग फ्रॉम, एंड देन गो अहेड एंड गिव देम अ सोल्यूशन अकॉर्डिंगली. So whatever guidance that is happening, it is not
Hmm.
happening one size fits all,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Because every author or every writer will go ahead and accept any kind of guidance in their own way, what works for them, उनकी राइटिंग में वो कैसे फिट हो सकता है वैसे. सो आर वर्क एज guides and mentors is basically just to go ahead and understand where they are coming from, how our mentorship can really benefit their purpose. That is how we will go ahead and guide them.
Again, ma'am, again, I go more deeper into it. Like today, world, we have Gen Zs. People, they call it Gen Zs, where the focus is very less.
Right.
Okay. And now the writers are also, you are doing it, you're helping them to write, and they will be writing books. So how does Gen Z will connect to these writers, the books? Because see, when you're writing, we should focus them also, or we should focus only the elders.
No,
Because
no.
now,
I think people are writing for different, like I said, different genres are being written. So people are writing for young adults as well. And when you're writing for young adults, then you obviously have to go ahead and understand their point of view, their world, the kind of lingo they use, the mindset that they have, and from their point of view also you can go ahead and write very many interesting books. um,
but
उनकी
will they
लाइफ
read it?
स्टेज में क्या रेलेवेंट है उस पर
Hmm.
हम कर सकते हैं. सो आज की जो जेन, इट हैज बीन ऑब्जर्व दैट दिस स्पेशली जेन जी जो हैं, वो एक ऐसी जनरेशन है जो बहुत ज़्यादा पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट बुक्स पढ़ती हैं.
Acha.
जो हमारे पुरानी, मतलब जनरेशन से पुरानी जो जनरेशन थी, मिलेनियल्स जो थे, वो इतना पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट बुक्स नहीं पढ़ते थे.
Hmm.
जेन से ज्यादा पढ़ता है वो. क्यों? बिकॉज दे themselves are wanting to really kind of explore their minds and so on and so forth. They want to understand where they are placed in this world, because they are finding themselves quite lost. In this
Okay.
overstimulated world, over-informed world, they themselves are also finding themselves misplaced. So they are also trying to understand all of that. But apart from that also, I would say there are a lot of stories that you can go ahead and write, fictional books that you should write about youngsters, about their challenges, the kind of issues that they have, because their issues are very different from millennials or Gen X people. Their issues are completely different. They were born in the internet boom age. The phones were in their hand even before they could hold a spoon. So their world is completely different from what we have been exposed to. So I think it is our responsibility also as authors to go ahead and understand where are they coming from, what is the world that they are inhabiting, understand their point of view, and then write about their challenges, the kind of problems that they are facing, so that they also find support in how to manage their own life, and how they can maneuver their difficulties.
See, now when I'm speaking to you, I'm just understanding how nicely you are slowly and gradually blending your writing with Gen Z, and how you are making the flow so smooth. Like the transition is so smooth that from writing how you are going to help Gen Z also. So this is now where I think happiness coach comes into picture. So, madam,
No, also because I'm a mindfulness trainer for teens and young adults, I know the kind of issues or the fears or the demons that they have, and we need to really understand and empathize with them more than. I think we're just very unfair with the Gen Z people. We think that they don't understand anything because they don't understand our language. But the point is,
Hmm,
I think it is for us adults, seniors, to go ahead and understand their world also, so that we
hmm,
can
hmm.
find a middle way, and then make a peaceful world for each of us.
That's ma'am. Now one more question. Since we are going into happiness side also, like today, you see a lot of people are there who are motivational coach. There are many people who are transformation coach, and there are many people who are life coach. So how do we people like people are again confused when they
Huh.
go for something listening or they want to understand somebody, they should approach a motivational coach or a transformation coach or a life coach, because see these words people are basically looking into the hashtags and trying to put under their
Correct.
signature.
Correct.
Correct now.
Correct.
But what do you suggest?
So I'm going to say that. So primarily, when we are actually going to a coach, what is it that we're wanting to really kind of address?
Hmm.
Are we trying to heal ourselves from something, or are we looking for a direction, or are we trying to find a change in our life?
Hmm.
Ultimately, the whole point of all these different kinds of coaches is to basically align you with yourself.
Correct.
That is the main purpose.
Hmm.
And whether it is directed towards happiness or transformation or mindset or life coaching, it is all basically the same. The basically
Hmm.
it comes down to aligning your mind with your actions,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So whoever you want to go to, that is absolutely all right, but you have to be clear what is it that you are actually looking at transforming in your life. What is it that you require from this particular coach that you are seeking guidance from?
Ma'am, one more thing. See, now corporate world is more stressed out. If you see them, they will be having their work laptops on, mobile phone on, even in their house. They're working and they're eating their food. They do not know how to focus on the food, to enjoy the relish the
Correct.
life also. So now,
Right.
when these people who are mentally not at peace, you can say that way, they're always working. So
Right.
how will the mindfulness help them to be mindful? Suppose now you want to train them. Okay, now you go as a corporate coach. You say, okay, now let's train them. Team building, they will come only for the five-star hotel and the food. After that, team building is gone. Right.
Right. Right.
Right now. But how will you make them feel mindful and get connected to you? Because see, when you are saying anything, they will be saying, okay, he's saying, okay, let's listen. Yeah, okay, 4 hours she will say, nah,
Ah,
fine. And they will be talking the entire phone with them. But how
correct.
do you make them connect to what you're saying in a mindfulness? As a mindfulness coach, how will
Right.
you help them?
So first and foremost, let me just go ahead and clarify. You can only coach a person who is coachable.
Okay.
You know, like a trainer. trainer has an objective. When they're training
Okay.
you with something, they want a result, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Say, for example, I'm training you for cricket.
Hmm.
I will train you on the techniques and everything, your fitness, everything. But जब
Hmm.
match होगा, then I want the result, and that is where your this thing is, your metal is, that whether my training was worth it or not, right?
Correct.
But
Correct.
कोच के साथ ऐसा नहीं है. कोच
Hmm.
कोच का मेंटरशिप जो है, that will only work if you are coachable. If you close your mind and you say, oh, ये तो जो भी बोल रही है वो बोल रही है, ये तो मुझे पढ़ता है, मैंने 4 बुक्स में पहले ही पढ़ा हुआ है,
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
right?
Correct. Right.
But the coach's job is not to tell you how to lead your life,
Okay.
right? The coach's job is to guide you, understand how you can lead your life. So the
Correct.
decision has to be with the person who is trying to, transform their life. How can you expect somebody else to really 100% understand your mindset and then act according to what they want you to act, right? वो नहीं हो सकता है. So coach का job वही है. अगर आप coachable हैं तो then whatever they are telling you, that will work for you. If you are closing your mind, if you're not open to acceptance, then it will not work for you. Similarly, mindfulness जो भी है, those are basically small little practices which you can go ahead and take, which you can undertake through your life every day on a daily basis, so that it becomes your muscle memory. जैसे कि
Correct.
जैसे कि अब हम लोगों ने बचपन से हमेशा सुबह उठ के ब्रश किया है. Now at 40, nobody will tell you go and brush your
Hmm.
teeth.
Correct.
It has become
It's a habit.
it's become your habit.
Hmm.
Mindfulness का भी ऐसा ही है. If every morning I wake up and the first thing I think is I have to make my bed, I will make my bed. If I come
Hmm.
out from a bath and I put my towel on the bed and instantly remember, oh, I'm supposed to put it out on the line to dry, then it will become mindfully. You are acting mindfully. So mindfulness
Hmm.
is not something where you sit sadhana mein in meditation and then become mindful.
No.
No,
No. No. No.
mindfulness is how you lead your life with ultimate consciousness, where you're present
Okay.
all the time, understanding ये मैंने ग्लास यहाँ रखा है, ये टेढ़ा क्यों पड़ा है, ये सीधा होना चाहिए, ये मुझे पता है, राइट? या मैंने अपना फोन कहाँ रखा था, फ्रिज में तो नहीं रख दिया, ओ मैं तो भूल गई मैंने फ्रिज में रख दिया, देन आई एम नॉट बीइंग माइंडफुल.
Hmm.
So mindfulness is those small little practices that you do every day which will basically become your muscle memory. So when we are talking about being mindful at workplace, then उसके ट्रिक्स हैं जो आप कर सकते हैं. जैसे कि आप before somebody sends you an email and it infuriates you, what do? You instantly go ahead and अच्छा इसने मुझे बोल दिया, मैं टाइप करके रिप्लाई कर दूं. Take a
Hmm.
breather. If
Hmm.
required, go for a walk. Have a glass of water. Mindful मतलब है you become conscious of
Present.
what you're doing. When your actions are in line with your mind, they are not haywire. आप सोच कुछ रहे हो, कर कुछ रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. तो mindfulness is that connect. आप एक important meeting के लिए जा रहे हो, take deep breaths, 4 5 deep
Okay.
breaths, and then enter the meeting room. You will feel much calmer. You will feel
Okay.
prepared, right? आप ब्रेक के लिए जा रहे हो, लोग जाते हैं ब्रेक के लिए, जाते हैं अपना फोन चेक करते हुए, लिफ्ट में घुसते हैं, नीचे
हाँ
जाते
हाँ
हैं,
हाँ.
सिगरेट पीते हैं, ऊपर आते हैं, फोन चेक करते हुए फिर बैठ जाते हैं. दैट इज नॉट अ
Hmm.
ब्रेक, राइट?
Okay.
एंड देन यू से यूर ऑलवेज स्ट्रेस्ड बिकॉज आपने ब्रेक तो लिया ही नहीं,
Hmm.
राइट?
हाँ,
आप
even in the
खाना भी
see in the
खा रहे हो.
restaurants.
हाँ,
हाँ.
आप खाना भी खा रहे हो, आप अपने डेस्क पे लैपटॉप के सामने मेल्स भी चेक कर रहे हो, खाना भी खा रहे हो, फोन भी
Hmm.
देख रहे हो. दैट इज नॉट अ लंच ब्रेक.
Hmm.
So when you're taking a break, take a conscious break. 5 minutes पे अगर ले रहे हो, go down, have a glass of water, have coffee, chai, talk to fellow peers, your colleagues, peers, talk to them, and then come back to your seat and then restart. That is also going to go ahead and help your mindfulness. I think these are small
Very well.
little tips जो प्रोफेशनल्स कर सकते हैं, बहुत इजीली कर सकते हैं, बट मिस आउट कर जाते हैं.
हाँ, मिस आउट इसलिए करते हैं ना. Today everybody wants to be multitasking.
Hmm.
You ask anybody, they will say, "Oh, I'm multitasking." That means, "Oh, I'm doing so many things." And you go
Yeah.
and see the down the bar below, all the emails will be minimized. And in the evening, they will be again thinking, what did I?
Right.
And they are
Right.
never there. So what you say is very right. Like mindfulness is something where you be keep yourself at least 5 minutes for your own self in every 1 hour.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When when you give 1 hour
Absolutely.
to yourself every 5 minutes, it's not your answer replying for the replying sake. You will understand what you have to do and
Correct.
complete the work. Correct, ma'am?
Correct.
And
Correct.
then your work is also focused, your vibrations are also focused, and you will
Absolutely.
achieve what you want to achieve also.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
rightly said, ma'am, because I am 100% confident and when sure also when you will be giving training to people, pin drop silence would have been there. People will be listening to you. Ah, yes, you are saying, okay, let it be. Kajal ma'am is telling something. Let's be quiet and listen to her. What is she trying to say? That's so nice of you. Acha,
I
ma'am.
hope it helps.
See, today, see, if I am when I am listening also, and the people who will listen, there are so many small tips you have given in such a nice way. Like a flow, it has come out. Okay, you do this, you take breathing, you come here, you start writing, you understand this, you come out of trauma, you do this. So this shows that you have gone through and meeting all these people and trained so many people in there, either it is writing or whether it is in mentoring or whether it is in corporate training, you've helped them. That is what I can understand. Like the way you're speaking, the way the flow is going. It's not like something, oh, I've written a book and I'm telling from the book, rewritten script. Very nicely. I'm sure people who will see this will surely connect. And with this corporate people, what you said, right. 5 minutes coffee break, go to your kitchen and sit and relax in your pantry and then come back again,
Yeah.
rejuvenated for next 55 minutes.
Absolutely.
Correct, ma'am. Ma'am, as this chat show is progressing, we have rapid fire also.
Oh, okay.
Okay, okay. So there are certain rapid fire questions which I would like to ask you, and you have to give answers to that.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, all set. So
Yes.
it will be on writing also, it will be on the awareness also,
Okay.
both the walks of life. Writing is
Therapeutic.
that awareness is
Consciousness.
fear is
I'm sorry.
fear.
Fear.
Hmm,
Fear is stifling.
okay. Success without awareness is
Short-lived.
short. A writer must never compromise on.
On their voice, how they express themselves, their own individual expression.
Okay, correct. The most misunderstood emotion is
Happiness. Happiness is the
ah,
most, yeah, happiness is the most misunderstood expression. I think people think हमने घर बना लिया, बंगला बना लिया, हमारे बच्चे फॉरेन पढ़ने चले गए, हैप्पीनेस हो
hmm,
गया. उसके बियॉन्ड भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. सो इट्स वेरी मिसअंडरस्टूड.
okay. One thing which an aspiring author should know and must build.
One thing that an aspiring author should know and
Must build, develop
must
within himself.
build. Uh, Persistence,
Okay,
persisting, continuation, writing every day, persisting. जो लिख रहे हो, stick to that.
okay. Any message for the school children who are into writing?
Who are into writing,
Hmm,
I think they should continue being their honest self, even if people tell you to write like this author or that author. They should not bother about that. They should just write honestly what they want to write.
right. If your life would have been a book, what would you name the book as?
Oh, okay. I don't know actually. I've never really thought about this. Uh, Maybe something like unwashed dishes.
Oh wow, what a name. And this is something very different, unwatched. This is, oh my goodness. So what a name. People will immediately get connected to it. हाँ, कुछ तो लिखा है इसमें. What made you think so? This is not in a rapid fire. This is just to be elaborated.
Yeah, unwashed dishes because it is urgent. It needs to be addressed immediately. अनवॉश डिशेस हम लोग कभी भी ज्यादा देर नहीं रखते हैं। यू नो
Hmm.
हम हमें एड्रेस करना पड़ता है उसको, हमें चेंज करना पड़ता है उसका स्टेटस। सो आई थिंक
Hmm.
इन माई लाइफ आई हैव ऑलवेज डन दिस। इफ आई फाउंड माई सेल्फ स्टैग्नेटिंग समवेयर, आई फाउंड समथिंग टू change that course. And I think that's probably how my life has been.
Madam, this is one quote which I'm going to write it in front of my table also.
How
Unwashed,
lovely.
never become. It is so nicely said. Unwashed is first feeling, first thought, which came into your mind is unwashed dish. And the way you have explained it, oh my goodness, anybody will connect to it. See, जो है लिख कर हम साफ करके आगे चलो. That is
हाँ,
what you try to
correct.
say. And it's so
Yeah.
nicely said, unwashed dishes. Oh my God. So now when are we listening to your book coming very soon? Unwashed dishes.
I hope I write that book
अच्छा मैडम.
someday.
So
Title तो आ गया, अब let's see how it
ना
works
यू
out.
राइट. देखिए बुक आ गया ना, वो कवर टाइट बुक भी हो गई, कवर भी हो गया, अब लिखा जाएगा. वेरी. एंड इवन व्हेन आई कम टू इंडिया आल्सो आई विल कम एंड श्योरली मीट यू.
Absolutely.
So tonight, madam, what we have discovered, writing is not about something to fill up pages. It is basically your emotions on paper, right?
Absolutely.
The person who wants to, it's the emotion basically on paper, which
Right.
becomes a book gradually. Correct, no, ma'am? So
Right.
if a person wants to write his own voice, right, they should not be afraid of, first of all, what you said. I'm just summing it up. And if a
Right.
person wants any assistance, you will help them in totally connecting with you, and at the same time you will guide them step by step, and then they'll publish on their own and everything, but you will do the entire, you will give something, a cover to them also, a book name to it also, if they do not know.
We can suggest. We can definitely suggest. We also do book
Mhm.
covers, book trailers also. But we can suggest. Mostly people like to do things like that on their own, but or the publisher pitches in for them.
Mm.
But we can absolutely help them.
Madam, so you would be basically, in one sentence, you will be basically helping the author to become a conscious author and understand themselves first, rather than just coming and writing and thinking, oh, they have written up blogs, they have become a writer, but you will explain them. Hand
Correct.
holding. And this hand holding will be for how many days, ma'am?
So there is no particular tenure for that. There are so many writers who are new writers, they've just started, and there are also published authors who are a part of our community. So there
Okay.
is no tenure that you do. There is no course that you can do for 1 year and then you will become a published author. It is not like
Mhm.
that, because
Mhm.
learning doesn't stop. The day you
Correct.
stop learning is the day you stop existing, basically. So learning doesn't stop. So it is a continuous process.
Okay. So one thing which you would like to tell to the aspirant author, fitness coach, mindful coach, all the three different way. What thing you would like to say?
Okay, just write your heart out, and I think apart from that, I also feel that as writers, we also have we also have like a responsibility to be a representative of the society. So whatever is happening in and around our world, that should also become a part of your voice, because that is how we can go ahead and bring transformation. If we just go ahead and continuously write about ourselves or our story, then we are becoming very closed, or we're becoming very selfish in that case.
Hmm?
So whatever is happening around us, bring that also in your story, and that is how the real transformation can happen. Writing, तभी तो कहते हैं, you know, a pen as the sword. Why do they say? Because the pen really has the power to transform the world. So take that power in your hand and change your life, and the lives of people that you can change.
So very nice, madam. I would like to say that all the children in the school or in the college or people who are having the passion to write, they should surely connect with you, because you are the person who's an author, but as a hand-holding person to become an author also. The way you have lived, you have walked your life, and you have become a successful lady with penmancy and the happiness coach. It was such lovely talking to you, ma'am. I'm
Thank you. I
sure
really
people,
thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, Vishalji. Thank you so much.
same here, madam, because I know people who will be understanding this conversation will surely get connected to what you have explained, to what you have said, whether it's as a writer or as a happiness coach. And yes, mindfulness also. So now
Right.
everybody will understand this 5-minute break is for themselves, not to
Correct.
be. give it to somebody else and then say, oh, we are taking a break. But it was
Correct.
lovely having you on this particular chat show of ours. And I'm sure authorization and awareness will surely go. And we wish all the best to Penmancy, you, and whenever I have a time, I will surely come and meet you in person to have your Ashirwad and become an author.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It was
Thank you.
lovely having you online,
Thank you.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So I'll basically, if any stories or any books which you have written, you just let us know, people, where it is available on Amazon. They will surely order it and we will read it. The
Because
best
I
one.
have mentored so many authors and I have,
Hmm.
been a part of their journey as well. You can find a lot of books of those people on Amazon.
Hmm.
So many books are available. Also, you can go to our website,
What is that?
penmancy.com, and look for
Hmm.
the Penmancy releases. So they are there. All those people who have been associated with us, their work is also over there, so you can go through that. I have been publishing in a whole lot of anthologies, international and national magazines, etc. And there's a huge log list. So I will go ahead and share with whoever wants to read those. You can connect with me anytime.
Correct. So I'm sure we will be meeting up soon again, and we will ensure that everything goes for the new authors, and we will have them new books coming in. And yes, I would love to see Gen Z also following the same thing and following how to write books. With that, ma'am, I, Dr. Vishal Saxena, signing off from Authorship and Awareness, and see you next time, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Namaste,
much.
ma'am.
Namaste.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Namaste.